What's up? I'm Jonathan. Welcome to my channel. Today is going to be like my first kind of reaction video. This is not my first time hearing this song or seeing this video, but I kind of want to respond to the song, the video, as well as the response to the band. So we'll get to that after we finish the video. I'm not very well spoken. My apologies. I'm probably going to trip over my words a ton. So anyway, without delay, let's do this. I already know the intro of this video is like really long, but my friend and I were talking about music videos in general and how back in the 90s, metal videos, you know, they were limited budget, so there wouldn't be like a ton of conceptual footage that's like B-roll type of stuff or different scenes. It'd be mainly focused on the band performing in a space. And this video is cool because it does both in one space. So we got this cool glitchy stuff going on. Some people say like they get Mudvayne vibes because of the makeup. I personally don't. And we got Joker Man. CK Smiles is what his name is. It's a cool band from Switzerland. Let's do this. Hey. At this point, this is where everybody pauses and goes, "Oh my god, it's chord number 2," or whatever. I didn't get that vibe. I don't listen to a ton of Korn either. I never did. But one of my favorite soundtracks was the soundtrack to The Queen of the Damned. And I know Jonathan Davis wrote most of the music, if not all of it. I think Deftones wrote their own song, Change. So for me, my reaction was not so much Korn, but especially when this chorus comes up, it makes me think of the Vampire Lestat. And I kind of prefer the soundtrack release version of those songs from Queen of the Damned, as opposed to what you hear in the movie with Jonathan Davis's voice. Because even though he's super expressive, he's also often like he doesn't give a shit about pitch. And it just kind of sounds a little too raw for my liking. This is nice and clean. It's kind of like, you know, nu metal with a clean production. Anyway, talking too much, let's get back to it. Also, if this is your first time thinking that Korn was being ripped off, listen to like everything past 2006 Lacuna Coil. Okay, I don't know if you heard my previous point. This is not the first time that this kind of sound has been used already. And I just mentioned Lacuna Coil, and that even made me think more about it. When they came out with, I think, Delirium, they started wearing makeup kind of like this. Not exactly, but they started doing a more makeup aesthetic. And this kind of nu metal influence has been present in stuff, you know, for decades. You'll hear it in Lacuna Coil. I love them to death. They're the nicest people, but their music after Comalize, in my opinion, that came out in 2004, there's a lot, if you're a guitarist, there's a lot of 0-1 stuff going on. It's not like as melodic as their stuff used to be when Mouse and Pizza were in the band. Those are nicknames. Don't ask me what they're, I think it's Marco and Cristiano were the guitarist names. Anyway, you hear that in Lacuna Coil. You hear that a ton in the Doom soundtracks, the video games. And people love it. It's awesome. It pumps you up. So I don't put these guys at fault for using that aesthetic in their music at all. His voice is similar to Jonathan Davis, but like I said before, it's on pitch. It's not constantly breaking. It's not messy. So it's, again, like for the song Slept So Long from Queen of the Damned, the soundtrack, I think it's Jay Gordon from Orgy who sings on that. It's a nice, clear presentation. It has intensity in it. And, you know, you kind of hear everything that's going on. You hear the words and the voice isn't breaking all over the place. Let's move on. I feel like I'm talking way too much. That's totally Doom.
You think I can serve my face, but my soul's falling disgrace, and I stay lonely. I shame them ugly.
Kind of background vocals kind of make me think of who was it? It came out with an album called Dirt. Alice in Chains. Alice in Chains. You look at the drummer's face when he does those quick rolls, kind of seem like, ooh, it's fun. Alright, I gotta stop here. So, that vocal melody in the chorus. Da, 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 na, 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 na. If you listen to the Queen of the Damned soundtrack, it's almost like the beginning is note for note for Forsaken, which David Draymond from Disturbed recorded on that. And the shape of that melody is pretty cool. It's catchy, and it gives you that aesthetic. Again, reinforces the idea that, you know, you're hearing Korn or Jonathan Davis's influence, but that doesn't make it a bad thing. It's a good fucking melody. Now, this part of the video, I kind of wish that they could have done, not the band, the director, could have employed some new technique. So you see they're on like a white set, right? This is like a minimal budget type of thing. They put their money into like costumes, makeup, and obviously the gear used to film it. So what if instead of having this girl just kind of going like, ugh, what if they kind of did something different, like the kind of twitchy, ringish, grudgish horror twitches and stuff, while he's doing this kind of hypnotic movement, having her kind of contort and like twitch, and you hear bones cracking or something like that. It's kind of old school music video for them to overlay sound effects over the music, but I feel like that could have supplemented the idea behind this part of the music video. Mumbling. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. What do you think? See, that spasming is cool. Just that. But then she just starts doing this stuff. No fault again to the actress. This is what they wanted. The director. I just feel like if you would have like seen the arms twist in wrong ways or something, it could have been more effective. Those are not Korn growls. Those are different growls, and I like them a lot. Again, that melody, it's totally, you see, I cannot be forsaken. And it's just, it goes in a different direction, but that immediately makes me think the Vampire Lestat. And a lot of people feel nostalgic, maybe because that might have been used in Korn, but for me it was because I heard that in Queen of the Damned. And I love that song to death. Another short note, I know I'm pausing a lot, and I'm sorry. The way that he wrote that melody, and it resolves to smile again, it doesn't hit on like a big beat in the chorus, and it just makes, it gives it some extra charm. super creative choice fading the band out.
This is my only way to smile again.
When it quiets down like this gives you insight as to all the extra stuff producers have vocalists layer, or vocalists who are their own producers choose to do with layering over a chorus. A lot of that extra stuff you don't hear when the band is playing, but it's there. And if you hear like that stuff taken out, it'll sound kind of naked if you listen to the song without those other vocals layered in.
My scars hide in my blame. Will you understand my shame? My insanity allows me to smile again.
So when I first heard this song, because I was so struck with the nostalgia of the Vampire Lestat and Queen of the Damned, I listened to it, fucking like 30 times minimum. I was just so caught up in that mood, and I have a song that I wrote that was kind of an homage to the Queen of the Damned soundtrack. I might put the link in the description. It's called Sinner, and this just kind of made me yearn for more of that sound, which brings me to like my kind of final point in all this. People's reaction to this band is like their Korn version 2.0, right? I bought the album that this is on. I can't remember what it's called right now. Second Life, I think. Anyway, I bought the album and I put it on, and nothing else on this album sounds like Smile Again. So this is, in some people's minds, a stupid choice to release as the first single, because it did draw a fair amount of negative attention because of how much like Korn it sounded. But triggering controversy with a release will draw more attention to this band. Let's take a look. I'm going to look at how many views. This has, since April 10th of 2021, it has 557,572 views. So 500,000 views, which is pretty, that's on their own channel. I don't know if the record label has its own channel with this video on there. Anyway, that aside, it's getting a lot of attention. There are a lot of reactions, and this is going to join right alongside with them on YouTube. So you have this kind of hook song where it sounds like Korn, and people are like, oh god. They could be like me and say, oh my god, I need to hear more of this sound. And other people are like, screw this. And maybe they might want to search more dirt, dig for more dirt to keep bashing the band or whatever. But the rest of the album sounds totally different. It has some really cool stuff on there. It gets heavy and fast. There's a few moody tracks. And naturally, because I heard this one and it hooked me in, it's my favorite on the album. But the album is really good. I suggest you check it out. I'll put a link to that in the description, or you could just search for it yourself. Don't be lazy. And I think that about wraps it up. So let me restate kind of what I said. More about the music than the production of the video. I mean, he uses certain techniques. He sounds like a much cleaner performance of Jonathan Davis. The music itself has the Numetal vibe, not like a Slipknot style, but again, like what was on the Queen of the Damned soundtrack. That movie, I think, came out in February of 2001. Jonathan Davis wrote most of the music on that soundtrack, and it has that vibe. And it takes people back to those years. I was like 13, 14 when that movie came out, and it was just so impactful to me. I was like a little kid when Interview with the Vampire came out, and I don't really remember any commercial music being used in that. But for Queen of the Damned, that stuff grabbed me, especially Slept So Long and Forsaken, and then Change from Deftones, which again is its own thing. Jonathan Davis did not write that. But this just kind of brought those memories and those kind of emotional experiences, not from the story necessarily, but when you get in a certain mood, usually when you hear certain types of music. And for that one, I kind of get in this kind of sinister mood. And so for this to bring that back and have it be like a modern production and, not 20 years old, it was a really cool thing. and it made me buy the album, and I dig the album. And again, you know, they're not rehashing Jonathan Davis and Korn. It's their own thing, and it was either the band or the label's choice to release this as the first video and single, if it is a single. I don't know. So if you look, there are other videos that they have. They have Into My Split, which I believe is on that same album. They also have an acoustic version of that. And I think these guys have a promising future. I think they've been around for a few years. I looked them up, other stuff, and it looks like this vocalist, CK Smiles, he's a newer member. Previously, like one of the videos that I saw from beforehand, there was a male and a female singer. I don't know if one or both of them were guests, but the sound was way different. What they have now on this second album of theirs, again, I think it's called Second Life. Maybe, I'm going to just look at it. Give me a second. Yeah, Second Life. It's also a video game, isn't it? Second Life. Really kick-ass album. Really cool cover art. I suggest you take a look at that too. It kind of supplements this kind of this aesthetic that they're carrying. And I just want more. So anyway, I think that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Share your thoughts. Bash me if you want. I don't really care. But I just hope that you keep listening to music. I found this just kind of on accident. I was browsing through Napalm Records music videos, trying to find new stuff, and that's like a symphonic metal label, mostly, I think. This is just like a suggested video. I saw the vocalist with a kind of like Joker-esque thing going on, and I found one of my favorite songs of the year. So anyway, I hope you guys have similar experiences. Please share them in the comments, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. I'll see you later.